Yes, the truth will set you free, but at first it may enrage you. All right, so my name's Travis Martin. I've lost more than 100 pounds with the program. I have come off all prescription medication. My journey started in my local grocery store, right? So I'd went to Quick Weight Loss Center twice and paid more than $800. Anybody I don't know what it's like these days. It's been a long time, but I remember doing Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig. I tried it all and I wasn't very successful. I was over 300 pounds. I would lose 30 or 40, gain it back. This went on for a decade. I didn't stay over 300 pounds. I'd be lying to say that. When I went over 300 pounds for the first time, that's when I started trying my best to adopt a incorrect diet mentality. And basically the only thing that seemed to work for me, that kept me in the 270s, 280s, I was in a size 44 pant. About the only thing that worked for me was starvation. Dexatrim, starvation. I wasn't starving. That's hyperbole, but it felt like it. And I just wouldn't eat. And I would go without eating. I'd drop 30 or 40 and I couldn't maintain that. Back in those days, my entire existence revolved around church. And during the summer, I was in revival almost every single night. Literally, my life looked like, for years, it looked like all year long, Wednesday night, there was no way that I wasn't having a hog trough day, Wednesday night, Sunday for lunch, and Sunday for dinner. There was no way. I went to a small church. Everybody was family. And it was really frowned upon if you didn't go out to eat with them after church. And so Wednesday night, Sunday morning, Sunday night, and then there's those other times during the week that you have the opportunity to feast away, right? We have good lives. We often whine and cry and lament and mourn like this is a third world problem we're having here, when in fact, this is a very first world problem we're having here. The reason we're suffering with being overweight, obese, or morbidly obese is we've got it so good and we're not able to manage our stress and our anxiety, and therefore we feed it with food. And I was no different. Plus all the times for entertainment, I would eat for entertainment and FOMO, fear of missing out. I could not watch you eat and me not get to eat what you're eating. And that was the mindset. And it didn't matter how big I was or how many medications I was on. Friends and family said, "Why are you dieting? You look fine. You're fine." It's odd, y'all have heard me mention it before, that when I went to losing weight, I often heard, "You look sick." When I was coming off prescription medications, people would tell me I look sick, but no one told me at over 300 pounds I look sick. Anyway, so that was my life. And I suspect it's a lot of people's lives where food is really, now there are things we say that we enjoy. Can we be real today? Maybe it'll help someone get into Fast Track and into Journey. Can we be real? We say with our mouths that we enjoy a lot of things, that we enjoy our family, but yet when we're around our family, if we're not eating, we're not hand to mouthing it with them, we don't seem to enjoy them. I'm just being honest. We say that we value our loved ones and we value church and church fellowship, but you can't keep people at church if it ain't centered around food. Am I lying? Am I telling a lie? We can't go on a date night with our beloved without it centering around food. Like, when's the last time you and your loved one got you a picnic basket and threw in a couple of sustenance items like approved sandwiches and went for a long walk or a long hike or something like that, as opposed to let's go out to get some Mexican food tonight. I mean, think about it. Has food become a god to us? Has food become our God? And there's a great falling away from faith, not from church, actually, not from the brick and mortar church, but there's a big falling away. People's faith, their genuine, authentic faith is on the decline. Faith in God is on the decline according to questionnaires and statistics. So is food our God? How's that working out for us, having food as God? Travis, food is not my God. Whatever you think about the most is your God. I don't care what it is. Maybe it's a problem that you have. Like that's something that I'm having to do. We'll get with it after this little monologue, I promise. But it's something I'm having to do is, are my problems, my challenges in life, have they become my God? Yeah, I think about them more than anything else. So you got to be careful not to put things on the throne in your mind and heart that don't deserve that throne. And food is one of those things. Food has to stop being front and center in your life. It's killing you. You're going to have to remove it and all the other problems and let God sit back on. God is not going to force God's self on you. Nobody's going to make you do this. Nobody's going to make you take care of yourself. I'm going to say something very harsh. No one loves you enough. No one. Not your mama, not your daddies, not your kids, not your grandparents. Nobody loves you enough to make you eat correctly and in the right portions. Nobody. They'll let you sit there and eat yourself to death. And they'll keep feeding your addiction. They'll keep doing it too. Like, it's a weird thing. You know, take my mama, for example. If I would have been hooked on narcotics, my mama would have moved heaven and earth to get me off narcotics. She would have fought me. She would have put me in a rehab place. She would have done whatever with tears streaming down her face. If I was hooked on alcohol, she would do. My mama will not let me have a drink of wine in her presence. It turns her stomach to see me have one glass of wine because alcohol addiction runs in the family. And I confessed to her that I had a problem with it for a couple of years. And she can't stand the thoughts of me to have a glass of wine around her in her presence. Breaks her little heart. Mama, if you're listening. But when it comes to food, the more the better, which is my real problem. I don't have a problem with narcotics. Knock on wood, it could be me tomorrow. I don't have a problem with alcohol anymore. Knock on wood, it could be me tomorrow. For it is God that orders our steps and says we live and we live, die and we die. I'm not my own keeper. With that said, though, in my right mind, I don't have a problem with those things, but I'm apt to have a problem with food again tomorrow. Don't nobody love you enough. Why don't they? They don't want to hurt your feelings. There's a couple of reasons that people support your food addiction. And I'm gonna tell you straight. Number one, they don't want to hurt your feelings. See, I have to love you enough to hurt your feelings. The Bible says the wounds of a friend are faithful, the kisses of an enemy deceitful. So if you're 30 pounds or more overweight, statistically speaking, you're going to die a premature death. You keep doing what you're doing, you're going to die. And long before you physically, you're going to die prematurely. We're all going to die, but you're going to die prematurely. And what's worse than that is that long before the physical death comes the spiritual death. No passion, no joy. So it's harsh, but you're going to die. So that's one thing, one reason that people don't, one reason why people support your addiction, they don't want to hurt your feelings. It gets worse from there. Do y'all want to hear the rest? And then I'll give you good news in a moment. The other reason is because they don't want you to do better than them. They don't want you to look better than them. It's a human fact. That's just the way it is. The majority of people don't want you doing better than they're doing. And in fact, there's a joke that you can't get away with much more because of the internet. Boy, every time I turn around, I'm getting banned for something. But there's a joke that you want people around you to get fatter than you. I didn't say it. It's a joke. You can go look it up because it makes you feel smaller. That's just human. People are human. That's the way they are. They don't want you to do better. And once you get to where you're looking better and doing better, they're like, I don't know about this. You look sick. You ought to stop. They don't want you doing better than them. So you got to decide, what reasons are you going to get up each day and be consistent and persistent? Because nobody's going to be in your life to talk you into it constantly. And in fact, even if I didn't get on your nerves and you love me and you would let me come move in your house with you and you would let me talk you into it every day, I swear to you, within a week or two, you wouldn't want to hear anything I had to say. Familiarity yields contempt. It's just like y'all have seen it play out here. The more I beg for every day, I'm consistent. Am I not? Every day I'm consistent. Every day I beg people to take the fast track, go through fast track, and less and less percentage do on a daily basis. The more you beg people to do the right thing, the less they're going to do it. So even me living with you and knocking cupcakes out of your hand, it would not work. The only person that's going to love you enough to take this thing by the reins and get you to your ideal weight range is you. You are the key. You are the secret. You are the miracle. And every day you procrastinate, let's take a look at a weight loss calculator. Watch this. This should be an eye-opener. We hadn't done this in a while. The mortality tables say that we're all going to live to an average age of what? I'm using pain today. I'm using pain to get your attention. Mortality tables say we're going to live to be about how long? Anybody know? About 78, Lisa. About 78. About 78 years, 77, 78. So is most people here, are you over the hill or under the hill? Boy, Travis, you are depressing us today. Oh no, I'm giving you exciting news. This is exciting because without it, you may not ever do anything. You may not change. Patricia's beat it. Patricia's 82, y'all. So the majority of us, we're over the hill, so to speak, right? How many of you have told your kids or your grandkids that even though you're 50, 60, 70 years old, you still feel young and you still have hopes, you still have dreams? They look at you like an old person, but inside you just know you're just one of God's little children, aren't you? You still got hopes and dreams. How many of you still want to look good naked? Raise your hand. If you lie about that, you'll lie about anything. Heck yeah. We all want to do our best, look our best. We still have hopes and dreams, excitement, but we keep procrastinating on this thing. How many of you don't want to get out of here? You're not ready. You feel like you've got more to show those in your life, yourself, your God. You haven't done everything you've been sent here to do, and you're going to do it. How many of you feel that way? Most of us, right? So let's go and look. Every time we justify or rationalize a holiday, I'm going to go to the weight loss calculator. Fun little app. Check this out. Everyone here, this will be fun. Everyone here that wants to lose weight, how fast do you want to lose it? Be honest, though. Be honest. How fast do you want to lose it? 30 pounds in 30 days? 30 pounds in 10 days? I mean, what is it you really would be happy with that would keep you going? I didn't get to see all the thread. Y'all, I appreciate y'all rallying around Janice. I'm just reading between the lines. I haven't read it yet, but praying for you, Janice. 30 pounds in 60 days. Jenny, that's a good goal. That's very obtainable. That's very obtainable. Okay. So y'all got some decent goals, some decent expectations. Now let's take a look at this. We just talked about we ain't getting no younger. So let's say, do I have anybody that's more than 30 pounds overweight and you would share your information? What you weigh and what your goal weight is, but you're more than 30 pounds overweight. Some people don't want to share that, but go ahead and give me that and I'll pop it in. 235 with a goal of 165. These are real numbers. I've been doing this 20 years. My numbers are always right. So I want you to watch this. Now we've got to qualify everything. If you did the following, if you became determined and you gave, now this one is very subjective, this first part. If you gave the Lord back the throne of your life, if you allowed the Lord to come in and inhabit the throne that's in your mind and heart again, and you devoted the first fruits of every day to the Holy Spirit and fellowship with the Holy Spirit, positive thinking, positive actions, thinking on whatever's lovely, whatever honorable. Now that's subjective. Now let's get to the objective part. If you did that and you had 3 or less eating episodes a day from the red column or -2, -3 meal replacements. Now, somebody should write this down because this is how I changed my life. I took massive, massive action. You could do that right now with some of the challenges we're doing. If you did the red column meal episodes, red column, up to 3 times a day, portion controlled, is 3 times, if we're honest, is eating 3 times in 24 hours, is that sufficient? Should that be sufficient for all reasonable people? I think so. So you have your red column meal episodes and -2 or -3 meal replacements. That would look like, I want to give you a proper, I don't want you to get too excited about this yet till you hear the level of effort. So I get up and I have Health-Wise hot chocolate mixed with cocoa ringa to control my portion. For lunch, let's say that I had a Mighty Muffin, and for dinner, I had London broil cooked in MCT oil over a salad in a portion control bowl. That's the type of day I'm talking about. Then in addition to that, I wasn't sedentary. I did 10 to 15,000 steps on those days. Does that sound, if somebody was really determined, does that sound doable? I mean, you're already eating. Everything I just named was less expensive than what you were eating before you come to the program, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Your meals were like $2. You're still, nothing changed other than what you're eating, and you may have to get creative with time and get your walking in, get your steps in if you're sedentary. Now, if you don't do all of that, you'll still get results. You know, what's that saying? If we aim for the stars, we may land on the moon. They say it different. It's never made sense to me. They say if you shoot for the stars, shoot for the moon, you may land on the stars or something. I think it's the opposite. Stars are further away. So if we aim for the stars, we may land on the moon, right? So as long as you have a plan, a fool with a plan is better than a wise man without a plan. So as long as you have a plan and you're working your plan, even if you don't get these extreme results, you'll still get great results. But now check this out. If you were determined, if you have 300 Shibboleth weight loss meals in a row, in other words, it come from meal ideas from the red column. In fact, I'd be happy to put them in the book I'd put you 300 meal ideas from the red column in a book if you pay me for it. But I've got let's say that we've got 300 different meals that come from the red column, and we're going to eat that, and we're going to eat -2, -3 meal replacements, 300 meals in a row without one single holiday. Now, remember that statement, without a holiday, without a holo meal. It says you will lose up to 70 pounds in only 100 days. So this person would go from 235 pounds to darn near close to 165 pounds in only 100 days. Fact, if you did the things I just said. So that person, whoever it was, probably would not do those things because they don't have to. But if you had to, you could. So how do you get your state of mind in a place where you have to? I always use this. If I was in a locked room, I'm going to ask all you mamas this. Most of the average height is 5'4", you little tiny things. Imagine you're locked in a room and the door is jammed and your kids are in another room beside you. There's no door getting over there, and that room is on fire. How many of you are walking through that wall? How many of you somehow, either supernaturally or just brute force, you're getting through that wall to get your babies? Nothing would stop you. Amen. Nothing could stop you. Now, how do we transfer that energy to energy towards this endeavor? How do we do that? Because the reason we're not successful is because we're not creating that mindset going into this. Because if you had that mindset, let me ask y'all this. If the happiness, I don't want to say something, you'll get the picture, but I don't want to even put something into the universe that's not cool. So let's say this, if your kids needed you, it had nothing to do with you losing weight and looking better in a dress, but if your kids, their happiness and peace and contentment or whatever, create the thing, if it counted on you going from 235 pounds to 165, how quick would you get there with this plan? I bet most of you would beat 100 days. You would say, Travis, just tell me what kind of calorie deficit I need to be in and what do I need to eat. I won't even eat if you tell me not to eat. See, that's the desire that you have to have. Where we're lacking is in our desire. Where we're lacking is in the level of disgust about the current situation, and where we're lacking is the vision for how great and grand life is going to be when we get there. And then what we're lacking is a fruit of the Holy Spirit called discipline and patience. And there's going to be very few people. This is not being mean. This is Bible. There's very few people here right now in this meeting that are uncommon enough to ever make that happen. It's so bad that some of you don't even believe you're uncommon. Some people here say, I'm uncommon. It just hasn't all clicked yet. Well, there's hope for you. But that person that says, yeah, I just won't ever be able to do it, I'm not disciplined, you've lost your way, friend. I want you to think again. I want you to meditate for a moment with me. Hypothetically, 235 pounds, this person can get to 165 pounds in 100 days. And all they have to do is eat like this. That scenario I gave you, let me give you another scenario. Advanced Health Systems pancakes for breakfast. For lunch, a small Wendy's chili. For dinner, some sauteed shrimp with some skillet fried squash. Let's look at another day. 2 scrambled eggs for breakfast and a cup of coffee. For lunch, I took an approved sandwich wrap with me in one of the small -2, -3 tortillas. For dinner, a grilled chicken breast with some green beans. Next day, get up, got low-fat cottage cheese with some egg whites. For lunch, 2 packages of Healthwise high-protein soup. For dinner, pork tenderloin on a portion control plate with green beans and okra. Next day, get up, Greek plain yogurt mixed with a little spark. For lunch, a half of a approved grilled cheese sandwich with a bowl of high-protein tomato soup. For dinner, a bowl of unstuffed cabbage rolls. And we could do this all day. All you're having to do is eat delicious foods. It's not even like having to bust through a wall to get your kids to survive a fire. You're just darn eating regular foods that are delicious and watching that butt melt. Prolonging your life with every perfect day. You're literally prolonging your life by minutes with every perfect day. Just like with cigarettes, you're shortening lifespan. With every perfect meal you eat, with that insulin control comes longer life, statistically speaking. And you get up and you do it again and again. You actually get up and have pleasure again and again for 100 days. Now, I'm not done with my illustration. Is there anybody else that you've got more to lose than that I can plug your numbers in? Cheers, everybody. Happy juice. Anybody else? Let's look at another. I've got a point I want to make. It's a poignant point. Buffy, my friend Buffy, I love that name. 294 to 165. All right. So if you have 477 Shibboleth weight loss meals in a row, now I know that we won't do that. That's not my point. I'm going to make the point in a moment. I'm going to tell you about the cost of procrastination. You will lose up to 129 pounds in only 159 days. Buffy, how long have you been dealing with this? At what point do we change the channel? We move into a dimension where our highest and best self exists. See, when Jesus said, I'm going away, he didn't, the King James Version says, in my Father's house, there are many mansions. Other transcripts, text, it means dimensions. How many of you have had let's think about dimensions. I'm not done yet, but let's think about dimensions as a state of mind. How many of you have had a state of mind where you were living in so much pleasure and you were so happy that time went by quickly? Measurably, time went by fast. How many of you have been you've went through hell and it seemed like one day was a year? Time just moves so slow because of the state of mind and the pain that you were in. The only way to have success and enjoy the process of weight loss is to change our state of mind. We've got eating those meals I talked about, we've got that linked up to pain. The process of losing weight is very pleasurable. What? Yes, it's very pleasurable. And until you adopt that mindset, you won't do it long enough to ever find out how pleasurable it can be when you reach your ideal weight. A lot of this is self-sabotage. And Kimberly, I'll get to that. Bear with me. I'll answer that, I promise. A lot of this is self-sabotage. You're addicted to the pain. Change your state of mind. Now watch. We're going back to this illustration. It would take her 159 days she would be changing her life every day. She would be changing her life daily. Her life would be improving. And then she gets to 165. But watch, we're allowed holidays on the program, right? We're allowed holidays. But every holiday you have, do you know how many days it costs you because of that insulin spike? You know how many days? 2 to 3 days. Watch this. When you have that one challah meal, do you know how many right meals you have to eat after that to get back to where you were before that meal? 6 to 9. So for every challah meal you have, if your goal is to lose weight, you got to pay for it with 6 perfect meals over the course of 2 to 3 days. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to eat a darn Reese cup when you could have a Health Smart peanut butter patty? Is it worth it? Is it worth it to eat a Baby Ruth when you could have a Fit Crunch? Is it worth it to eat your mom's chocolate cake when you could have a Shibboleth approved chocolate cake? Is it worth it? I want you to live in the glory. I want you to live in the pleasure that you're going to feel when you finally reach that goal. I bet you can't think of anything that would make you happier than you reaching your goal. And the more pain you're in now, the better you're going to feel when you reach that goal. Somebody that's just got 10 pounds to lose, they don't understand what I'm talking about. They'll feel a little bit better. It's not the be all end all, but if you got 70, 80, 90, 100 pounds, imagine that be coming off of you, how you're going to feel. All right, let me answer these questions. So, Kimberly, what were the 3 things you said? Okay, so here's what I said. Like if you wanted to blowtorch it, you want to blowtorch the body fat and astonish everybody. What we're doing, we're drinking our water, Okay, that don't change. We're journaling. That don't change. We're eating in the right food combinations. But in order to get a better result, we're only doing red column or a -2 or -3 meal replacement. We're portioning this, so we've got to ration it and only have up to 3 eating episodes in a 24-hour period, and it must be on a 6 to 8 inch plate or fit under the hands. Timing, we basically want to have a 12 to 16 hour fast a day where we're not eating any calories, and then we want to get in 10 to 15,000 steps a day. And everybody here in 6 months has a new life. A completely different existence in life. And it's not even hard. It's worth more than millions of dollars. I can give you millions of dollars, put millions of dollars in your bank account, and it cannot compare to feeling lean and healthy and confident. No amount of money. Now, would it be great to have that money and lean, healthy, and confident? Yeah. But I'm saying if you had to pick, I promise you, everybody will choose health over wealth. I'll prove it. There's a great little TikTok thing where the guy asked, if I gave you $1 million today, would it make you happy? Would that make you happy? But if I gave you $1 million today and tomorrow you knew you were going to die, how happy would you be? You wouldn't be very happy. It goes something like that. The money's not important. It's your life. It's the quality of life. It's you're not experiencing life and the joys of it if your life experience is filtered through unhealthiness. Every pound you lose, if you've got 100 pounds to lose, you don't have to wait to lose 100 pounds to feel better. Every pound you lose, you're going to feel better. Any questions or comments about anything we've talked about or on nutrition? I'm ready to answer. Yes, Lisa, I love feeling light, clean, and empty. Makes me feel great. I used to think that meant I was starving to death, and now I love it. Makes me feel fantastic. Joseph's lost 43 pounds and 10 pounds to go. Way to go. Great job. All right. So if you're new here, we personalize the program for you. So I'm here so that I can help you moving forward. Please ask questions while we got time together. Kathy, I just got my first pack of bio coffee. Do I use it as a coffee replacement and eat it with food for breakfast? No, ma'am. Bio coffee is best used in the following ways. It does have tapioca starch. It does have 70 calories. It does break a fast. It helps promote regularity, and it's better for you than regular coffee when used within the context of the program. You cannot have it freely like you can coffee. We can drink as much coffee as we want, assuming our doctor's on board. Bio coffee is a little different because of the calories and the starch in it. It is exceptional if you're having a low blood sugar episode, which many people often do when they start because they haven't developed the fat adapted metabolism. You could have potentially some low blood sugar episodes. Bio coffee is one of those things we can do without causing too much insulin spike to elevate our blood sugar back to within normal levels. That's one way to use bio coffee. The other way is if you're faced with, you want to promote more regularity, you want to soothe your gut, bio coffee works exceptionally well for that. One serving of bio coffee would count as a half of a snack. 2 servings counts as a full snack. The way I use it is as a meal episode. So for example, many mornings I will have bio coffee mixed with cocoa ringa or Healthwise hot chocolate, and I'll call that a light meal episode. You got to be careful having too much of it because it will spike your insulin levels. It's best partnered with another high protein beverage. It's going to give you energy. It's a great morning way to start your morning as a meal episode. So how would that look if I want to have bio coffee as a snack? Here's a way that you can manipulate the system, okay? And the Bulletproof Shield, even if you're finding loopholes, will always keep you safe. I can't get over how versatile it is and how it keeps everyone safe if they'll follow it. So we can have up to 3 eating episodes for optimal results, right, everybody? So actually, I could have, since a full snack is an eating episode. It takes 2 servings of bio coffee to equal 1 snack. So I could, for breakfast, have a bio coffee by itself, and that would be called a snack. For lunch, I could have my approved meal, and then mid-afternoon, I could have another bio coffee. Now I've had 1 full snack. And then for dinner, I could have my turkey. I've been eating a lot of things like boar's head turkey breast with a light salad, something like that. So you can have a great, healthy, approved dinner. So I've had 1, 2, 3, 4 eating episodes, it looks like on paper, but I can combine the bio coffee for 1 eating episode. So that means I still consumed optimally for fast weight loss. Does that make sense? Can you tell more about Coach Mode? Is there a Sunday video of the program, or should I go back and watch Fast Track? Coach Mode is different. You learn about Coach Mode in the Shibboleth journey. Coach Mode is a certain set of meal ideas that you have to stick to, and it will work. It will help you get to go really fast. There's a list of Coach Mode meals and resources, or you can turn on Coach Mode in your profile. But remember, if you turn on Coach Mode, your journal no longer works because you now have to select a meal from the Dropbox. So in your Dropbox, you just see a bunch of meals. Perfect Day goes away, Tiger goes away. You just see meals. And what you're doing in Coach Mode is the system saying you must choose one of these meals. So it's basically another discipline challenge. We don't use Coach Mode very much. We should, and we might in the future, but I need to revamp those meal ideas. They're very old ones that we had years and years ago. Coach Mode's okay. It's just you don't have the autonomy or freedom to eat what you want, and you're much more likely to have a holiday because people struggle enough sticking to the thousands of foods. So Coach Mode is just a few foods that you get access to. And if you have anything but that food, it's going to give you that holiday. It's that's all Coach Mode is. The best Coach Mode is coming to this class and walking out of here every day with new meal ideas from the red and yellow column and sticking to it like your life depends on it. Anybody else? Stacy, I have been very discouraged over things that are going on. I PM my accountability group this morning and said I could easily go eat my kitchen, but I know that's not going to help, and that's because of you in the program. Thank you. praying for you in spirit, touching and agreeing with you that God give you that resistance to the diet devil's devices. It never helps, Stacy. Thank you, Mary. It's never going to help you. It's never helped. It's never going to help. Food is like the worst friend ever. Has anybody ever had a friend that you hung around with for years, you give so much of your time to, and they always seem to beat you up over stuff? You kept hanging out with them. Anytime you had a problem, they kicked you when you were down. They were a miserable comforter. Has anybody ever had those friends and you finally had the courage to get away from them? I've had some of those. And I don't know why. I just wanted to love them and please them, and you couldn't do it. They were just horrible comforters. And the worst I was going through stuff, the more they mocked me or laughed at me or give me a hard time, or never, with the Spirit of Jesus, laugh when I laugh, mourn when I mourn. No. If I was laughing, they tried to make me sad. If I was sad, they tried to make me sadder. I don't know why some of us have those type of friends, but I said that to say that's what food is. If you're not using food as sustenance only, that's what food is, my friend, a miserable comforter. Every time that you think that food is going to help you with anxiety, boredom, stress, it does for a few seconds. And then what happens? Misery. Makes everything worse. We got to eat to live and stop living to eat. Deborah, how can I use apple cider vinegar with mothers to help lower my cholesterol? Just take it daily. But if you're really trying to lower cholesterol, there's a great partner class. Maybe some folks here can vouch for me here. But in our partner classes, the deep dive classes, I do 2 great lessons on cholesterol. And your cholesterol, your problem is most likely not what you're eating. Your problem is most likely that your body keeps producing more and more LDL cholesterol, because LDL cholesterol is what the body has to produce to deal with chronic inflammation. And we maintain chronic levels of inflammation due to sugar and starch and bad fats. So following the program is priority number 1 if you're trying to reduce cholesterol. In addition to that, you can increase your good cholesterol through intense exercise. In addition to that, you can help reduce your bad cholesterol by taking Omegaplex. In addition to that, you can reduce your bad cholesterol with extreme prejudice, controlling insulin, which apple cider vinegar helps with. So every day, take your serving of Bragg's apple cider vinegar with the mother, the good bacteria for the good gut health. And I mix mine with Ocean Spray Diet or Advocare Spark. And I have it once to twice a day in a wine glass. Why a wine glass? Because it helped me break a habit of drinking wine at night. So there's always a way. There's always a way. I did fast track, but saw a badge for phase 1. What is phase 1, Bryant? When Sasha and I started in 2013, after I used to have weight loss centers. I had 13 altogether. And at one time, I once had 9 operating. So everything was taught brick and mortar. When we started Shibboleth and went online, we developed phase 1 without much thought in the name or anything, which was videos, much like Fast Track. They're still there. They're called the daily doses. You may get a kick out of watching them. Anybody that watches the daily doses during that time of my life, I went through multiple nervous breakdowns. And if you pay attention when you're watching the daily doses, if you look closely, you can tell that God was carrying me during those times. So me knowing that was an awful time for me, anytime I seen the daily doses and the phase 1 stuff, it made me sick to my stomach. So I eventually Kim Danke refilmed them, the fast track ones, polished them up some, and that's what we use now. Now, some people still love the old daily doses. I really feel like God was walking with me during that time, but I wasn't real happy with how they turned out. So Kim did the ones that we have now, fast track, which is basically phase 1. Now we are refilming all of those because we have new members coming, and we have a new way that we're posturing our program. So we'll be sending the new fast track videos to new members, one at a time, that I'm refilming. So that's kind of where we're at with that. I appreciate you asking. It's good to revisit nostalgia. Tammy, I seen a question that disappeared that I wanted. Hold on. Let's see. Tammy seems to be helping all of y'all. Can you direct me to a list of all -2, -3 meal replacements? I think Tammy just did that. Good deal. And there's probably others in there too, though. That search engine, sometimes things are listed differently, but yeah, she told you right there. Patricia, I heard every holiday costs 2 to 3 days. 9, that would be okay, 3 days, and one holiday meal costs 6 to 9 days. So that would mean same number of meals for holiday and holiday meal. Let me put it, I'm not understanding the question too good. Let me put it a different way. If we're talking about weight, if we're talking about your weight only, just your weight, what I was referring to was metabolically, okay? Metabolically, not your weight. I knew when that come out, people thought I meant by weight. I meant metabolically. So if let's say it's Monday and this morning you weigh 150, okay? And then at night you have a hollow meal. You ate right all day, but you had a hollow meal, a big fat hollow meal at Red Lobster with Cheddar Bay biscuits. Okay. So the next morning when you get up, your weight is likely to be up by 4 to 5 pounds. So let's say that you're 154 after that big hollow meal. Okay. Now, if the rest of this day, if on this day I have red column, I eat very sparsely, maybe 2 eating episodes, 10 to 15,000 steps, by Wednesday, I can be back to 150. So it really only costs you a day in weight. Now, if you don't do extreme Shibboleth, it's going to be Thursday before you're back to 150. So that costs you 2 days. It can cost you as little as 1 day with an extreme payday. In other words, you did this, now you're going to work overtime to get it corrected. What I was referring to earlier was if we're looking at it by the number of meals that we've got to eat, only eating up to 3, it takes about, for every hollow meal, it's going to take you somewhere between 6 and 9 meals to get back to where you were metabolically, not by weight. And it's not an exact science. It's a try-for thing. The reason I always point people back, we have to have things to talk about in class or people lose interest. But really all that matters here is the knowledge that anything I do to spike my insulin levels, it's going to take me 1 to 2 days to get back into efficient fat burning mode, because even if you're losing water weight and glucose weight after a holiday or hollow meal, you are not burning fat efficiently until you get those insulin levels somewhat abated. And typically from a normal hollow meal type application, it's going to take you a couple of days to get back into EFB unless you do some crazy, crazy, fun, optimal stuff with Shibboleth. It's not an exact science. Looking for a good chicken Alfredo recipe that's easy and not a jar sauce. I'm looking in the recipe area, but only saw a few. Here's a great way to do that. Bear with me. I'll give you, I don't know what's in the library, but for fun, we'll just do one right here to show you how fun and easy Shibboleth can be. So I just pulled up one. Shibboleth is so easy. Okay. So here I've got a great Alfredo sauce. Sounds good. Butter, heavy whipping cream, 2 teaspoons of garlic, a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, half a teaspoon of salt, quarter teaspoon of pepper, 2 cups of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. So here's what I would do depending on what I wanted to have with it. It's going to depend on what I want with it. The butter, what would I replace the butter with, everybody? Ghee butter. So I've used ghee butter. Now I could use the heavy whipping cream. The calories are going to be very high, but I could use heavy whipping cream. The rest of this stuff would be fine. The problem I'm going to have is in the selection of my pasta. Because if I don't use the right pasta, then I'm going to have a problem. So the only pasta that I would use here would be black bean Explore cuisine. I would put something like this over riced cauliflower or over spaghetti squash or over zucchini noodles. Does anybody know why I wouldn't use Fiber Gourmet pasta or carbonara pasta? It's going to be high, right, Charles? It's going to be higher in starch. So then that heavy whipping cream and butter become a problem. But this would be a delicious Alfredo. Anything fatty like that's going to be great that I could use on my Explore cuisine pasta or category 2 noodles and be great. Now, what if I wanted to use carbonara or Fiber Gourmet pasta? I've got to replace the heavy whipping cream. What could I replace heavy whipping cream with, everyone? Miracle pasta would be exceptional for this recipe, Stacy. Now, if I want a higher starch pasta that tastes even better, like Fiber Gourmet, yeah, you could use Greek plain yogurt or fat-free Fairlife milk. And you could use the fat-free Fairlife milk with the Hidden Valley Ranch, not Hidden Valley, but Hidden Valley has a Alfredo pack. It's really good. So there's always a way. That's the versatility of Shibboleth. There's nothing you can't have. Shibboleth has transcended. It's not a diet. And I think that's the hang up for people. It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle. It's a set of daily disciplines and rules that we can live by. So, for example, this weekend, Sasha and I got out. We went to a yacht rock. She felt that we needed a break. She surprised me with Yacht Rock Review, a cover band, Yacht Rock. So we went and did yacht. We dressed up like hippies. We were so cute. We dressed up like hippies. She was rocking what do you call those, crocheted pants? She had on some crocheted pants. She looked marvelous. We dressed up like hippies and went and did some yacht rock. But it was fun. But before yacht rock, we wanted some pizza. We wanted pizza. So I had to go to my favorite pizza place. And it's called Pizza Time in St. Augustine. And I wanted to have a perfect day. So I ordered the pizza. It's humongous, but fit under my hands. And instead of eating the bread too, the toppings are thick. So I took all the toppings and I put it over lettuce. It was delicious. I didn't focus on what I couldn't have. I focused on what I could have. We have pizza rules, hamburger rules, eating out rules, eating at home rules. And if you put all that together with consistency, by Christmas, your life is changed. But you have to decide to do it. You have to decide to stop allowing the diet devil to tempt you, or he's going to tempt you, but you can't let him get away with that. You've got a way out. Yeah, Hidden Valley has a dry mix Alfredo, or McCormick's, maybe McCormick's. Try anytime I say Hidden Valley, you might want to try McCormick's. But it's good. Tastes good. I put it over fiber gourmet pasta, penne pasta all the time. One of my favorite meals is that Alfredo over the fiber gourmet penne pasta with some grilled chicken cut up on it, man, or some shrimp. Man, I eat good, y'all. I weigh less this morning than I did in the 8th grade. Eating like this. I started off in a size 44 pant. I'm in a loose 32. And I know I'm doing good because everybody's telling me I look sick. In which case I say, thank you. Thank you. Glad you noticed. You didn't tell me I looked sick when I was 300 pounds and truly sick and on multiple prescription medications. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Y'all look beautiful too. We're all beautiful. This journey would be so much fun, more fun if you would look in the mirror today and say, I love myself. I love my body. It doesn't matter where you're at. I know you have to have a level of disgust about a situation to overcome it. I get that. But you need to love yourself and see how beautiful you are right now. No, I'm not woke. I'm not trying to be one of the woke people, though I have no problem with that movement either. I just try to mind my own business, work out my own salvation. But I do believe, because I've been through it. Hey, Pam, I'll help you in just a second. I have been through it. I have been through it. And I lost a lot of weight hating on myself. That's what motivated me. You piece of crap. What I found is loving on myself, I do even better. Be good to yourself. Love yourself right where you are. You've got a pretty good life. Now, let's make improvements daily. So Pam is struggling. She says, I just started and I need hints. Well, not struggling. She just needs hints. So Pam, let me quickly again, you share with me where we can help you today, because it don't feel like we're spending time with you and shouldn't be, because this benefits others too. So it's like you and I are having a one-on-one for free, okay? So I'm going to throw this up here because we can't escape the basics. We'll try, but we can't escape it, okay? So we got to drink our water. We've got to journal. We've got to journal. We've got to eat in the right food combinations. We've got to eat in the right portions up to 3 times a day, and we've got to get a minimum of a 12-hour fast. So of these, is there one you're having a problem with, or is it the meal ideas that you're having a problem with? You don't know what to eat? I suspect that's what you're referring to. Okay, you need meal ideas. So there's several places to go, Miss Pam. You tell me which way you want to do this. We're going to give you a few before you go today, but there's thousands of meals. There's the meal idea generator that you can do on your own. Would you like for me to demo it? There is a one-on-one with Joni, free meal planning based upon your likes. Or you just want me to give you some ideas right here, right now? Which one would you like us to spend our time on? Meal planning now. Okay. So when we're not here with you, which is we are about daily, you can go to the meal plan generator and you can generate ideas that you may or may not like because it doesn't know your likes and dislikes. That's point one. Right here it is, meal plan generator. I'm going to do this quick because I know it's not what you're wanting, but I'm going to do it quick. You can do simple or mixed based on recipes, and simple, let's do mixed. And then we just click generate. It's going to generate ideas. It doesn't know what you like, so it's throwing darts in the dark. Egg whites with an orange. Let's say that you would do that. You leave it checked. Waffle House or Huddle House, 1 pork chop and egg whites. So you leave it checked because you would do it. Quest bar, let's say you would do that. Boar's Head London broil. Let's say you wouldn't do a cucumber sub. So you uncheck that. Barbecue pork loin chops, fajita steak salad, Philly cheesesteak sliders. Let's say you would never do that. So you uncheck what you wouldn't do, what you don't like, and then you generate again. Then it'll fill in the gaps. And then you can keep doing this over and over until you have meal ideas you like, okay? Next, you can get an appointment with Joni. And Joni will give you multiple breakfast ideas, lunch ideas, and dinner ideas based upon your likes. You can become a partner. And then the system will know what you like because you'll go in here and you'll heart the foods that you like, and then it puts it in your personal library. Watch this. So I'm just showing you all the ways, and I'm going to help you. But you got to start, see, I'll just be throwing darts in the dark. So you're going to have to tell me some foods you like. You can go to partners, and we're adding a feature where you can go into your favorite foods. Then instead of thousands of foods in the library, the only foods that are listed will be the foods that you like. And then that way, when I'm meal planning with you, I could go to this, you see, I could go to this and see exactly what you like and tell you within 5 minutes, 20 meal ideas. But I don't know what you like. This is my dilemma. This is why diets fail, because you usually get a meal plan and you don't like it or wouldn't do most of it, okay? With that said, let's spend 5 minutes and come up with as many ideas as we can, Pam. What foods do you like? What foods were you eating? So let's go back to here. I'm going to go to dashboard, and I'm going to go to fast track library. So we got a short list. We'll close with this today. We'll help Pam, and then we'll let y'all go. Okay, so here's our beginner food library. Now, Pam, I'm going to run through some foods, and you'll learn this in Fast Track, but I'm going to run through some foods. If you like them, write them down. Chicken breast, pork tenderloin, turkey breast, venison, fish, 96% lean ground meat, 96% lean Franks, fat-free cottage cheese, low-fat cottage cheese, egg whites, fat-free feta cheese, lean deli meats, fat-free Fairlife milk, Kroger Carb Master milk, Quest protein powder, Greek plain yogurt, 000 yogurt. Did you like any of those, Miss Pam? Now, if you'll let me bring you on the screen, you can just talk to me and I'll do a one-on-one with you right here. But I don't want to embarrass you if you don't want to be on here with me. Leafy greens, artichokes, asparagus, baby corn, bamboo shoots, bell peppers, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, celery, cucumbers. You like any of those? Green beans, hot peppers. Category 3, black-eyed peas, carrots, corn, crowder peas, lima beans, long grain brown rice, potatoes, tomatoes, sweet potato. You like any of those? Category 4, full-fat cottage cheese, 93% lean ground meat, light bologna, chicken wings, chicken liver, steak, fruit, apple, berries, blackberries, You like any fruit? Category 6 superfoods, peanut butter, nuts, seeds, beans. Category 7 shellfish. So I don't know what you like, so I'm gonna be guessing. So you like beef? Can I eat fruit on fast track? Yeah, of course. You just got to know how to eat it. And the best ones to go with, Pam, are berries, apples, oranges. They're lower glycemic. So do you like hamburger steak patties? So here's the problem, not admonishing Pam at all. I'm just saying, everybody, when you say, can you just tell me what to eat? How can I? How can I? I don't know what you like. And if you don't like it, you're not going to eat it. So I would waste all this time doing these meal plans. So hamburger patty. So let's do hamburger. Write this one down. Hamburger patty. Do you like green beans? This is a blowtorch meal if you like it. A hamburger patty with green beans and Worcestershire sauce or A1 sauce on a portion plate. That's a great blowtorch meal. About 4 ounces of ground beef, 96% lean or better, with some green beans. That's a blowtorch meal. Do you know what a -2 or -3 tortilla is? Assuming you know what a negative, okay, good. So take one of those tortillas, put ground beef in that with some salsa and a little bit of that Olay Mexican cheese dip, about a tablespoon for flavor. Then you got you a beef and cheese burrito. I do that a lot. It's delicious. Let's see what else you liked over in here. Hot dogs. So you like Hebrew National Franks? Are those okay? Take you a Hebrew National Frank, put it in a tablespoon of MCT oil, not saute it, but cook it in that MCT oil. And take your tortilla, do the same, your approved -2, -3 tortilla, put your hot dog in that tortilla, and then whatever condiments you like. Like I like ketchup, mustard, chow chow. I like kraut, a little chili, just a little bit of chili. You can have a chili dog that way. If you like kraut and weenies, a couple of the Hebrew National Franks in as much sauerkraut cooked in MCT oil as you like, if you like that. If you're wanting some fruit, you could do scrambled egg whites with a side of berries or a side of an apple or an orange. That's a perfect pairing. You could also have you a boar's head sandwich, so approved bread with some maple glazed ham, lettuce, tomato, and then you could have you some berries for dessert during that, right as soon as you eat that meal. The berries need to be inside your stomach with the protein, but let's see what else you've got. You like peppers and rice. Got to stay away from rice right now. You could do rice cauliflower. I do this a lot. Shrimp and chicken stir fry with rice cauliflower, water chestnuts. I make it just like a house fried rice, but I do it with rice cauliflower and MCT. You could use water chestnuts, the green peas in the shell, just like you get at a Chinese restaurant with some shrimp and chicken. That's delicious in a portion control bowl. Make sure you get that mentor appointment and make sure in the library you're marking the foods you like. That way, when we do meal planning on one-on-one with you, then we know exactly what you like. I literally, if you already had hearted all your likes in the food library, I could spit out 20 meals in less than 10 minutes that you'd love. And you could literally lose all the weight you wanted to lose with those 20 meals. This is so easy if you accept help, everyone. There's no reason that anybody here should put one bite in their mouth that tastes good but causes you to gain weight. You should only be putting food in your mouth that tastes great and causes you to lose weight. Because that's why you're eating. You're eating not because you're hungry. Sorry, you're eating because it tastes good. So if we got taste good and lose weight versus taste weight and gain weight, what would a reasonable person do? I can eat that same hot dog. I can eat a full fat Frank on a white bun. The whiter the bread, the quicker you're dead, and I'm storing fat. Or I could eat a hot dog our style and lose fat. All right, y'all. I've wore you out. I've dropped about 50 people here talking too long. So don't forget, we love you. Reach out to us, myshibboleth.com, myshibboleth.com. Don't forget partners. We will very soon be doing our live classes for partners and for those people doing the intense programs that we're starting to offer. So don't forget that. Partnerships are still available. We need you. We love you. Can't do it without you. Thank y'all. Talk to you soon. God bless.